We are continuing. We started the other day of the laws of Netilat Yadayim. Just a reminder, there are two reasons that are given for Netilat Yadayim. One is Siracha Tuma. One is that the Kohanim originally would wash before they ate Truma in order to keep their hands purified, and therefore they extended it to Yisraelim, even today in the modern era. Shibana Beis Midrash Primirav Yameinu. We continue that takana. And the other reason that we see that was for Nikias, in order just to eat on a cleaner level, that was the second reason that was mentioned that we saw on Tuesday. So we're on page 343.
But the Ruach Hara.
No, Netilat Yadayim before bread.
Right, that's
Before bread, talking about this time in the morning.
So if someone's a Yisrael and their hands are really clean, you still have to wash?
Yeah. Okay, that's a very good question. Taylor the Gemara in source number 6. Maseches Chulin. There you go. It's the Gemara that we're learning on Sundays as well, but not Daf Kuf Hey. Amar Ravidi Bar Avi and Amar Rav Yitzchak Bar Ashi and Maim Rishonim Mitzvah Vachronim Chova Meisivei Maim Rishonim Vachronim Chova Imtzayim Rishus Mitzvah Lagabe Rishus Chova Karilei. Says Rashi, what does it mean chova? Adifa me mitzvah. Listen to this. Why? That Rashi says the language of the Gemara is specifically and intentionally says the word chova, meaning my macharonim is chova, which is more important. My macharonim is even more important than my rishonim. The reason we'll see later on. What does it mean mitzvah? It means mitzvah l'shmo l'divrei chachamim. Right? Not, of course, mean a Torah, but rather midrabanan. Midrabanan, there's a mitzvah to wash before one eats bread. And what is ma'imim tzayim? Ever heard that before, right? What's ma'imim tzayim? The Gemara says it's rishus. What does that mean? Says Rashi, shenoslim ben tavshel l'tavshel balma. I don't think we really do that, right?
It's like a moist towelette. Just
right. It's like you wash in between. Fancy people do that, maybe. Those towels, right? Yeah. So. There you go. I don't know. Now, we definitely see that, again, for our purpose, we're not going to focus on my machronim. We'll get there. What was that? Eat it, right? We'll get to my machronim at some point in time, but for now we're focusing on my rishonim, which we say is a mitzvah to wash. So, that's what the Rambam says. And here we go. This is exactly what the question was asked. Even though it's mundane bread, meaning as opposed to truma. Even if your hands are clean. In fact, the halacha is you need to wash if your hands are clean, even if you're a Yisrael. You need to still wash the Yadayim, which most people, I'm sure, are familiar with.
Why?
So again, there are two reasons that we're given. One is that we want to keep ourselves practicing washing our hands. We want to make sure the Kohanim are washing their hands before they eat bread because of Truma, and therefore we could extend that to non-Kohanim as well, and even the Chulin, in order that we become regular and accustomed to always washing before we eat. Even
they wouldn't be eating truma like all the time, right?
The Kohanim?
Yeah.
That's often, Kohanim, generally speaking, only ate truma foods. How else do they get food from? Where do they get food from? They don't farm. They don't land. So what food would they eat? Meiser, truma.
You couldn't go to the store buy bread?
They could, but where do they have money from? They're not working.
I mean, they're not like...
No, Kohanim were very wealthy, actually. That's part of the problem. They were corrupt by the end. But where they get, in theory, the system works.
They wouldn't have some spirit change though. Like they couldn't they just had to live off everyone else purely. Like that was their life.
Like, do you want free truma bread or do you want to go?
No, the whole point was that they didn't need to work. Meaning, if they worked, they were teachers and judges and that, but they got paid through communal money. Meaning, they got paid through
socialism. Yeah,
through truma and through the Beis Hamikdash and through. Yeah, or they would teach and they get paid. Now, I guess that's not true. I guess if they were they only worked in the Beis Hamikdash 1 week a year. You know what I mean? It's not like they're it's not a full-time job. Maybe twice 2 weeks, because they often would do like 6 times the shifts, right? But they were again, if they were a judge, you didn't want to pay a judge because that's the problem with shochad, right? So if they were the judges, you couldn't pay them. You weren't allowed to get paid. They had to get, they were allowed to take a salary. What?
The judges have salaries.
In the modern era, they do. Again, who pays the salary in the modern era?
The community.
The community, right? So same idea. What's truma? Community money.
Yeah. So, but so they're not always washing. So basically, Kohanim are in the times we make this are always going to be washing their hands before bread, but non.
Yeah, but also that was the gzera. The gzera was that it extended even to Kohanim for non-chulin, and even non-Kohanim for chulin was extended.
For not chulin.
Yeah.
Or for
chulin. Sorry, even non-kosher, meaning chulin was extended. And even post Beis Hamikdash, that's also the chiddush. And the second reason that we saw that why we wash our hands is because we want to eat on a higher level of kedusha and tahara, right? We shouldn't acute the kedusha based on the asmachta v'hit kadishtem v'hitem kedoshim. Okay. Now, what about the kli? This is very, very interesting. What do we do about the kli for Netilat Yadayim? So we know we have those like nice Netilat Yadayim cups, right? That's really nice and dandy. What about if you're at school or you're at work or you're traveling? What's the minimum that you need to use? So this is actually quite helpful, quite relevant. So here's what he says. First of all, you need to use the kli. You can't really do it by just pouring water over. You need a kli. So, what type of kli? So the Gemara even says, Kapida, so Amina. So Rashi, what is that? He says, we're makbid that it has to be kli shalem. It should be a kli shalem. Amar lo in. No, doesn't. Yep, it should be a kli shalem. Ach zusa, amar le in. What does that mean? Look at Rashi. Sheyeh behen maramayim, meaning the water has to actually look like water, right? It shouldn't be dirty. Amar le in. Ash irua, amar le in. Yes, and what does that mean? It has to be revis, meaning which is about 86. It's easy to remember. Revius, it's kos. It's the gematria of kos. So 86 milliliters. So if the kli has to hold 86 milliliters, which is approximately 3.5 ounces.
Like a third of a cup?
4 ounces, 3.5, 4 ounces, something like that. So it's more, like a shot glass is 1 ounce. That's not enough.
How does 86 ounces amount to 3.5?
That's 86 ounces?
86 milliliters.
86 milliliters.
86 milliliters amount. Isn't it 50 milliliters a cup?
Yeah.
So, but if 3 ounces is...
Isn't...
I'm just thinking 8 ounces is a cup.
Yeah, we're not gonna do ounces.
Wait, 8 ounces...
Because of the math.
Wait, 8 ounces is a cup? So...
Yeah, we gotta...
Okay, so 3 and a bit. What's wrong with that?
3.
Exactly right.
Because let's just round up, so let's say 86 and a bit, so it's about
90.
100. Double that, it's only 200.
Yeah. At least it's 3.5. 3.5 ounces.
Okay.
That's exactly what I said. Is that what I said?
A cup is 8 ounces.
Right, 8 ounces.
86 milliliters is like less than 4. It's like 2 or like 3. It's like 3 ounces.
Yeah. What did I say? 3.5.
Okay, I'm going to do the math in my head again. But we'll keep
No, because
I don't know if this is what we should get hung up on.
yeah. Okay. So the I mean, you go to there's a conversion online. Just convert 250.
What are we gonna do? Let's go 86 milliliters.
No, convert. What is 1 ounce?
86 milliliters is 2.9 ounces. Okay.
2.9.
Right.
So 3.
Okay, 3.
Okay, so 3.5.
2.9.
3, basically 3. So 3 ounces. So, what was it just? Oh yeah. So the clean used to be 3 ounces. So you know you have those medicine cups or those shot glasses. That would be, you cannot do Netilat Yadayim with those because that clearly doesn't hold enough water. Okay, so that is essentially what this Gemara is saying. So we can now skip the page. The Beis Yosef actually says, if you take a look at source number 9, B'Shem Hilchos Gedolos, Taha Kapidna Amana Dasmachtu Rabbanan Al Mechatas. Inami Al Kedusha Daim V'Raglayim B'Mikdash. That in fact, since there needs to be a kli, Ma'im Chaim Al Keli, the pasuk says in order to use mechatas has to be a kli. Definition of a kli halachically is something that holds 86 milliliters, and it has to hold the revius, or else it doesn't have the halach definition of a kli, and yet one needs a kli to do Netilat Yadayim. Now, what about the shape of a kli? What about if I have a kli that is narrow and then gets larger? Do we say that's like that 2 klis? Do I count the whole kli? Do I count just like the lower part, the upper part? What counts as part of the kli? What do I add up?
Use like a styrofoam cup. Is that what you're saying? Because it's shalom.
So okay, the question would be: can you use a styrofoam cup because you cast it away, right? That would be the issue. Also, maybe with kiddush, using a styrofoam cup for kiddush. We'll get there. So he says again. So Maseches Chulin says. Has to hold revis. Take a look at the Mishnah Berurah in 11. Klisha niftacha milamala v'shichala lamor al shuleha. So it can stand up, right? It can stand. It doesn't like fall over. V'lakaba revis. Nira sheyesh lahaka litova imein lo kli acher. You can use this kli. So again, it's open at the top, so it's almost like a flat dead with open. But what happens if it's... What does this look? Oh, I see. If you turned it over on its side, it would also be able to stand. So it's some type of like almost rectangular receptacle, right? Can you use a what's it called? A plastic container? No.
Tupperware.
Tupperware. Thank you. You could use a Tupperware to wash those down. The answer is you could, right? Because even though it's super wide open,
what would be to say that you wouldn't be able to?
Because it's not really made. It's not made as a cup. So the issue is it's not made as a cup. The issue is a kli. So this is made as a kli.
Right, but we have to wash with a kli, not
a kli, not a cup. Right, and that's what the. So he says when you do that though, make sure to wash b'makom shenif chas sheshama kli nemucha b'sefa acheres akli gavoa. Oh no! So I think what it's saying is that it's a kli that's wide, but the top part of the kli almost is cut off. It's almost like a 3/4 closed kli. We only have an opening on the side, right? Like a coffee mug. That's a very good example. A coffee mug is a good example, where it comes out super slowly, right? Because there's not a lot of water that comes out.
Like with a spout.
With a small little spout, yeah. So he says again that would be okay.
Like press thing.
No. Like you drink coffee.
Like something you take on the go, like a little switch.
So that's what he says here, right? Right? There's great differences in the upper lip, right? So it'd be very good. The example of that could be like a coffee mug, right? It's the svat is so much smaller than the actual surface of the kli itself. Okay, what about again?
That's okay.
So he says you can do it. Same idea, by the way, and that's this again. Same idea with using a what's it called? A water bottle, a plastic water bottle, where also the opening is much smaller. So there also, and not only that, but it can get stuck, right? When you pour out a water bottle, it kind of gets trapped in it. When you pour a water bottle, it goes like glug, 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 glug. Because what happened is the water is flowing out, but the opening is so wide and then it's going so narrow. See, and when it comes to a coffee, you pour it, it goes out slowly but smoothly, right? As opposed to water bottle, if you pour it over, it comes out. There's like because of the way it traps the water and it kind of shoots it out almost in spurts. So that's what the Yalkut Yosef number 12 is talking about. A kankan. So he says it is permissible to use for a kankan. One can use it for netilas yadayim as well. And that's what he says also in 13. Now what about 14? The Shulchan Aruch Kol davar shelo nasa lekabala. What about anything which wasn't made to hold something? Like kankanim she'inam shavim lamala ela bolet mehem kamo dud sheshavchim derech sham v'hu gavoa yoter mekli. Whoa, what does this even look like? Kankanim, like a can of some sort. Bolet mehem. What is that? Bolet mehem kamo. Who gavo yoter mekli. I'm not so sure what that looks like. What about a can that you have where the opening is on the side, like a spigot? What about something like that, right? Where the opening's on the side.
Like the things you do if you want to have like a drink of punch.
Right. Those big, yeah. So here's the issue with that. You need to make sure you have a revius. So if you have, let's say, a big a jerry can, and the spigot is at the bottom, that could be a problem. Because where the water is coming out from, is there a revius there in the bottom?
Underneath it.
Yeah.
Either way, you're not using that water, though. You're going to use the water on top. It's coming, you know what I mean?
Well, chances are, usually those jerry cans are very, very big on the bottom. So chances are you're going to have enough revius lying there in the bottom. What?
Jerry can.
What's a jerry can?
Like a big box of water. you take on a camping trip.
So let's say you have a big thing of water, and the water comes out like a spigot, like for punch, right?
It's like those big coolers?
Those big coolers.
They have a little spigot at the end.
Yeah. So there you need to make sure that you're going to have a revius at the bottom of it, which I guess most of them probably did, right? Because you never put that at the very bottom. Because usually by the end you have to like kind of tip it over, right? Which means that there has to be something there to hold, and chances are they're so big it's going to hold revius. Why is it that they put them, let's say, 4 inches up?
No, it's usually not that high. It's usually about an inch or two.
Close to the bottom.
An inch or two.
Why do they put them all the way on the bottom?
Well, first of all, you want to.
You know why?
You want to be able to stand it up.
Right, you want to stand it up, so you got to make sure the spigot rises above.
And you want to be able to slip a cup underneath.
Right. So I guess that's why they raise it up a little bit. Because it is annoying at the end, right? You have to pour it out. Kind of tip on an angle. So he says, okay, that would be okay to do. Okay. What about a kli, the next one, where it's broken? Gam im akli machzik b'nefachah revis. Even if the volume of the revis, ella shino machzik revis b'pfoa b'fnei she'enu yachol lamod b'fnei atzma ella yedei smicha. What about this? Is I think I'm trying to think of an example of this. What about a Ziploc bag? You take a Ziploc bag, right? It could hold the revis, but only if you kind of hold it up. And you put it down, a Ziploc bag, the whole thing like kind of.
Or it's kind of like the JLIC bottles that don't really stand on their own.
Yes, of course they stand on their own.
Unless it's way full. Yeah.
No.
Kind of similar to that, no?
No, of course not. No. But that at least was made to hold water, to hold a revius.
But it can't stand on its own. Let's say you fill it up with 2 revius. It's not going to stand on its own. You need like a full.
Really?
I think so. Well, I don't know.
No, it does not need to be full.
It does
could
not?
be like a quarter even.
Oh, okay.
But
a little bit of weight on the bottom.
A Ziploc bag would be very interesting because a Ziploc bag,
you give it its shape.
Right, it's nothing, right? But yet it was made to hold something. That's clear, else, right?
Right.
And people reuse Ziploc bags all the time, right? All the time. What's wrong? You don't like Ziploc bags?
No.
He made a joke.
Oh, what did he say?
Don't do it. If it's a pun, just don't do it.
Okay, fine. Anyways, so that's the. That could be an example. I don't know. But says let's read on what he says here. Do you know if it doesn't have an ability to hold its own revius and it kind of like falls over, then it would not be. You could not use it for Netilat Yadayim. Because I'll tell you what, because Ziploc bags would be extremely useful to use on a trip. Like instead of a cup, that's way more useful, right? You go to, let's say, a baseball game, right? So you want a cup. It'd be way better to use a Ziploc bag, which you can like literally crumble up into your little pocket and pull it out. But
you can use it, or you can't.
No, because you can't use it. If you don't like hold it up, the whole thing falls out. Hilkach, so let's say a piece of a chavis, a part of a barrel, that unless you kind of like hold it up or something, so the whole thing kind of falls apart, that'd be a problem.
It's going to tip or it's going to fall over?
I think it'll fall over. The water will like spill out.